Marko, Juras here from Fair Realty. Today I'm talking about Airbnb/vacation rentals, and are they really problematic in strata corporation? So there's a lot of stigma out there that Airbnb operations inside the condo building cause nothing but problems. They're only to the benefit of the owner. People are partying, this and that. For example, I went to a lecture the other day where a lawyer was saying he was amending or writing a lot of bylaw amendments for strata corporations to eliminate Airbnbs, and they were such a bad thing, and blah, blah, blah. I've personally served in a number of strata corporations in Victoria in buildings that both allow Airbnbs and both buildings that don't allow Airbnbs. You know what's interesting? There's one building that I served on the strata for the last year. There's about 20 Airbnb operations. We didn't have a single complaint from those Airbnb operations. No partying complaints, nothing. But we had a ton of complaints stemming from owner-occupiers and long-term tenants. For example, owner-occupier unit 1005, she doesn't have her dog on a leash, it's jumping up and down on me in the elevator, or we have a long-term tenant in the same building that keeps on smoking and throwing his cigarette butts off the balcony. The building doesn't allow smoking, so we're having to fine the tenant, the owner, blah, blah, blah. But basically, no complaints from the Airbnb operations. And a lot of people, when they talk about Airbnb, they always reference the house in Calgary that got trashed 2 or 3 years ago. That's kind of their go-to story. But when you look at long-term tenants, I have a lot of horror stories that I come across every single week just in Victoria. So I'm not a huge believer that Airbnb operations inside the condo building are necessarily a total disaster. I certainly don't advocate, if the building has no zoning for Airbnbs and the bylaws don't allow it, I certainly don't advocate for allowing Airbnb in that situation. But if the zoning of the city allows it and the bylaws allow it, I don't really see a need to amend the bylaws. And the lawyer that said, the Airbnb does nothing to contribute to the strata, it only benefits the owner of that unit in the strata, I disagree with that a bit as well, because the one thing we've noticed in Victoria is buildings that allow Airbnb or vacation zoning have gone up a lot more in value than buildings that haven't. So I did a comparison of two buildings very close to each other, very similar construction quality. One building allows vacation rentals, the other one doesn't. The building that allows vacation rentals in the last 12 months has gone up 32% in value on average per square foot. The building that doesn't allow vacation rentals has gone up 16% in value, or half. So there actually is a benefit to the strata in terms of monetary resale value. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.